to make that happen, I sort of went through all of that sort of disappointment, worry, concern, and then had to feel all that, then let it go, and then start the new day with that anticipation of, I don't know what I'm going to paint, let's see what happens. So that was what I was doing, giving myself parameters. Okay, that's the size, that's the color base. Then what? I love pink with green. Okay, I'm going to have a green. Oh, let's use gouache. And just these ideas were dropping in as I just surrendered to showing up. And it doesn't always work this wonderfully, but it was a really lovely experience for me to have it happen this way, to learn new ways of being with making art more prolifically. And so I just got the idea, go into the little fireplace room where I've got one of my paintings up above the fireplace that I love and I'm keeping because it reminds me of my home on the Sunshine Coast. It was the table that used to be that I had to sell. Okay, so this is the next part. I've got to do, well, I want to do these two boards. And so I just got the idea, come in here, use this as a reference and see where I go. I brought that other one with me for a reference, and I just want to make these into like a pair. Drawing on here first, which is not how I normally would do it. So you know, with a plain background, I normally have all kinds of color and pattern. So I just wanted to show you the beginning or the before. My first thought was, and what I'm going to think about doing is, oh, it's interesting, I've not thought of doing a fireplace. I don't think I'm going there today, but the picture within a picture, I'm a bit interested in that. And so I thought, what if I put a piece of the table in both of them and then a different painting on the wall in each one. I'll see how we go. Okay, taking a leaf out of Matisse's book, just painting the designs onto these boards that I came up with, and now I've just got to decide how I'm going to paint them. I want to try and keep these quite naive. Yeah, I'm just encouraging myself to let them be loose, because again, I've got real time constraints. So I'm just going with the first idea that comes, keep following that until I know what's next. Just do what I know. Like, for example, I've made a frame for something, a picture to be behind her, a picture or a window or something. I'm not sure what to put in there yet. So I thought, okay, let's just start other areas. And this one here, kind of a Matisse-ish drawing in the back. And so now, yeah, and I'm thinking I might do a clock. Okay, so we'll see where these go. I wanted to just do some progress shots along the way. I had this sort of a bit daggy looking landscape thing that was sort of happening. I had a sort of like a piece of land and I was going to have water and sky, which is sort of not my wheelhouse at all. And I thought, nah, it was looking like a really old-fashioned weird painting, and I'm trying to do this modern contemporary Matisse thing here. So I got rid of it. You know who came to mind was Yayoi Kusama and her bright and playful stuff. And I thought, I just need to play like Yayoi does and just get over it. So here they are at the moment. Here we are, gone all out Matisse, all right. This one's coming together really well. I really love a lot of that. I think I'll leave it for tonight. Well, it's like 4 o'clock-ish, I'm getting tired. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. But this one here, this is, there's more openness to it. See the very different color. You know, the dark and the light. And again, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. Quite like it. I like it. I'm wondering wondering if I want to revisit the table like I did here. I did sort of quite a lot of detail-y things on the table, which is very Matisse. So I wonder what wants to happen here. But I've actually made the painting a lot more, in the background a lot more detailed. So I might just do the cup and freshen up the white on that vase. So it's almost like that's the focal point, which is quite interesting, isn't it? It takes you zooming across the table to that painting, but then I feel like you come back. It's really reminding me of how often we do our homes these days. They're so sparse, and that whole minimalism thing, and you know, dare not have too much stuff or something, but then the painting can be opulent. So that sort of occurred to me. I wondered about that. So yeah, I think for now I will leave these two and maybe come revisit them again tomorrow with a fresh eye. Good morning. So I'm back the next day, and I really want to finish these up today. I think they're both in the frame at the moment there. I'm very happy with these. They've made me really happy, just playing and being a bit loose, strongly influenced by Matisse, and enjoying every bit of it. And so this one here has just got so much going on. It's so full. It's like it's just vibrating. I really love it. So it's causing me to think, all right, I'll give this one a little more as well. So I like this fruit bowl. I think I'm just going to do another fruit bowl. And I thought a placemat. I was going to do a whole tablecloth, but I'll see how the placemat goes first. And actually, just looking at it, I think that the blue could work. I was going to do patches, but let me see. Yeah, I can do that. I'm going to do blue. And I'm going to leave the camera on and just chat a little bit this morning, because I'm going to, I think I'll just put this video up this week of just these two. And then I did another pair of paintings that I think I might see if I might make a video of those next week. Just to lighten up on myself, it's just the whole YouTube thing. I think it works really better if you can do a video each week. And I just have to find ways to make that possible at the moment without having to do extra. So if I share what I'm doing for the art show, these two are pegged for the art show in Sydney that's coming up in June. But that means you have to have your work ready a good month. I mean, normally with a gallery it can often be a longer lead time, but at the moment it's around about a month. I think they have to have the images, photos, etc. to put on the catalogues and get all that sorted. So I haven't got copious amounts of time. So this is the sgraffito that I like doing. You get a little blunt tool. It's got a little ball at the end. It's metal with a little ball, which is not so problematic in wood, but when you're using canvas, it's good because then you won't make a hole in the canvas. So I think I'm just going to, and then you choose between a bigger line or a very fine line. I think I'll do this. A tip for doing this kind of thing that I normally think about is putting a bit of retarder in the paint so that you've got time to play before it dries, because depending on the weather, acrylic paint can dry really quite quickly, and so then you can't do sgraffito anymore. So how we like that. It's just fun, isn't it? The patterns. So I think that's good. And now I need to do I left my bucket of water somewhere. This is one of the brushes I bought from Japan. I don't know if you can see that. Lovely fine brush, so I'll try and look after it and wash it after I use it type thing. Yeah. Who's Aura? Oh, you've got to see it. Walking around with a blanket on. Hi, Aura. Hi, Aura. How are you? Good morning. Hi. Aura. Hello, sweetie pie. You're losing your jacket. Losing the little coat. The Velcro always goes on these jackets. Do you want to go outside? Oops. I'm trying to do it up with one hand. That's going to undo right away, isn't it? Good morning, sweetie. It's a second morning, like she's been up already. Of course. No, not going outside. Going to try and see if there's a bit of a sunny corner. Oh, sorry, you're going out there. Look, to take it off for a minute. Take it off for a minute. Have a nice little rub. Oh, look at the fur. Oh, God. Okay. You want to say hello? Want to say hello? You're so sweetie. Okay. It's a bit unruly, this brush, to be honest. It's very soft. Oh, God. Not sure about that, but anyway. What colour would it like to be? I used a bit of pastel, like chalk, to just draw. It looked a bit low down there, so I moved it a bit up. Funny, it's still coming off. Oh, unless that's from something else. So I don't know if it needs anything else. No, I think I'll just do some oranges and lemons. Oh, and I'm using gouache, Liquitex gouache for the most part. And the pink, that pink, which is quite yummy, is Magenta Light in Matisse. But yeah, Liquitex gouache, so very different to the transparents and letting it all wash around and stuff. It's yeah, I'm quite enjoying the difference. That orange looks very good with the green. It's black's not dry, so I should leave it alone and come back. But I want to do it now. Okay. Oh, looks like we're going for all oranges, are we? Maybe. just not going to touch the black because it's so wet, makes it real dirty, so I'll just leave a little halo, which makes things look nice anyway. Okay. Oh, look at that. Pop. Pop, pop. Now, what colour bowl? What colour bowl? Can't be green. There's too much green. I've been wanting, I was thinking of actually the ochre sort of colour stripes, but I don't think I'll do that. So maybe it can sort of be an ochre-y. I grabbed this one here, Caramello, warm sienna. It's probably a little dark. It's probably a little dark. Could lighten it up. I tried lightening it up by adding a tiny bit of yellow. It's not quite working. It's a weird yellow, very cold. Very cold yellow. Not loving that particularly. But, oh well, let's do this colour and see how we go. It's quite sort of dark. Yeah, I'm not loving it actually. Small brush is not working either. Doesn't really show up with the okay, from a different angle, with the sun shining in my eyes I couldn't see it very well, but okay, it's not so bad. I'll let it dry and see if it needs lightening, but you know, that ties in with those there. Might as well touch this up while I'm here. It's really showing through. Oh, see? I warmed it up somehow before, so now it looks different. Oh, interesting. All right, well, don't like it. I've got some stuff on my palette here, so I think I need to just warm that up somehow. I'll put a bit of this pink. Oh, that lightens it. Let's see if that looks good. Because I was a bit concerned that this is all a bit sort of dark, dingy. Let's try a bit of light. Oh, can you hear Aura? She thinks it's morning tea time. Probably is. Time for us to have a chai. I have a chai. She has her biscuits rolled up in a little hand towel. It's a little game. Actually, this is nice, a good sign. I'll be there in a minute, Aura. Good sign, because the last few days, like on the weekend, she was sleeping through her snack time, which I thought was awfully unusual, but she's getting old. So it's why I just take the time to stop and hug her as much as I possibly can. But little dogs have been known to last obviously longer than big dogs, not quite sure why. So we could have her for a bit longer, but we don't know. We just don't know. It's a bit of a mystery. I had a beloved budgie that when it died, God, I was devastated. So yeah, I'm just loving her as much as I possibly can. Oh, that didn't work. See, there was a bit of green in the pink, and then I've mixed that in, so that sort of changed it completely. I don't think I'm going to put that on there. Yeah, all right, I'm going to pause for tea. You want to watch? How many? 2, 4, 5. Let's have 7. 7 up, please. Okay. I'll put them in here for you. Ready? Just a minute. No, not yet. wait a minute. It's just fun, isn't it? It gives you something to do, something in your day. You ready? It's all finished, Laura. You're finished? I think so. All done. All finished. And pack it away. That's it. That's all there is. Okay, I'll pack it away. Good dog. Okay, I'm back. And I just wondered about putting a placemat over here. So this is instead of putting a tablecloth. What would happen if I did that, I wonder? Oh, well, it would fill up the table. It's a way that I can consider, all right, what color would I want to bring in more to just harmonize this whole thing? It's funny because I talked earlier, I think, about this being kind of a minimalist space and a very busy painting. And now I'm just going ahead and making this busy as well. That's okay. Curated, we call it, don't we? All right, there's a lot of green. What if it's just bright red? It's not really red. What is it? I wouldn't call it red. To me, it's quite a deep orange, but it's called cadmium-free red light. So it's that very orangey red, which is quite fabulous. It's very vibrant. I've been using it without adding anything to it, I think, for the most part, maybe a tiny bit of the pink, but it really holds its own and probably only needs a small amount, but that's what I'm thinking would look lovely. And then I'll just do the same treatment I did this one. So that's easy. Find a brush, off we go. This I'm going to have to move you out of the way a bit so I can get in here. I experienced some really nice things this weekend with this strong deadline. I worried a bit and, you know, had a little freak out. To be honest, I was waiting to hear how did my paintings go at, what was it called? Aspire Art, the Gundawindi show. That is right out. Oh, I don't exactly know exactly where. I should find that out. Okay, so yeah, the Gundawindi show, which is beautiful, wonderful show. And so I've been waiting to hear, did anything sell? Oh my gosh. It's it's all very wonderful to get your work ready for a show, but I don't know how many people realize, who aren't artists, how sort of nerve-wracking it can be for us as well. We're just sort of waiting. And the actual truth is, you're wondering, am I going to get paid this month? And so I'm not saying that to be victim. I'm choosing this life, and it's extraordinary to be able to paint. But yeah, you sometimes go quite a long time without being paid, which you know, I'd like to see lawyers, doctors, etc. entertain that idea. Probably not, right? So yeah, you try and hold that lightly as well. You sort of try and go, oh, don't worry, you know, don't do your own head in about it. But I'm here to say sometimes as an artist, it does do your head in. And it brings up all your insecurities. And that's what I think they say about sort of being an entrepreneur. I don't know how come we got to be called entrepreneurs instead of artists, but a bit of each maybe. Oh, this is a big conversation. I think maybe I'll share a bit more about it along the way. I'm not sure, but I did decide to do an online course about conscious marketing, because one of the things that really gets in my way is that I hate selling. I shouldn't use such strong language, but I don't like, you know, trying to peddle my wares or whatever. It doesn't come naturally, and part of that can be your upbringing, can be all kinds of stories about what you make it mean to sell stuff and etc. It's like some people just seem much more comfortable with it than others. I'm losing track of what should be what here, but don't you love how interesting it makes these leaves look now? Oh, I'm very happy with this. Now, like I said before, I've got to hurry up because that paint will dry. Oh, I've got my lines. Be quiet. It's a bit like having to turn the radio down when you're reversing. I have to do that. People joke about it. It's true. I have to do it. Too much stimulation, I think. That's what I'm thinking it must be. Okay, and maybe I'll do the fine line and just see if it works. No, not very much. Oh, okay. I thought I'd be clever and just sweep it through the leaves as well, but no. It's only a subtle difference. Better hurry up actually, it's drying, can feel it. These lines turned out to be a bit bigger than the other one. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, I'm going to quickly do it again. Ooh, running out of time. Ooh. All right, how about we do the long ones first? So we've got 1, 2, 3. Let's do that again. Yep, it's drying. Oh goodness. Okay, since it's wood, I can use something that's a bit sharper. So this has got more of a point, so that is working. How's that? Oh, yum. I like it. Okay, very good. I'm not sure if I finished talking about what I was talking about. Got really distracted by the detail making. But yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm still waiting to hear how did I go at Gundawindi. I have a feeling that my 3 big ones did not sell. So now I have to organise getting them shipped all the way back. So that's another thing, you see, you have to pay for the shipping out there, and then, or actually not all of it. Man's Transport in Brisbane are gorgeous, and they take our work from Brisbane out to Goondiwindi. It's about a 5-hour drive, I believe. So they take a whole load in the truck, which is very lovely of them. And so they'll bring them back to Brisbane, but now I'm in Sydney, I'll have to arrange for them to come back home to me. So yeah, that's what's going to happen with those, and maybe I'll talk a bit more about them when they come back. See how my thinking is. But I'll tell you, I actually was a bit low, thinking, oh no, what am I going to do if all that work and they didn't sell? And so you sort of got to trust that they will eventually, or you paint over them, you know, a bit of each. And definitely try not to take it personally. It's a really challenging time, climate, etc. So you can't take it personally. But yeah, I wonder if she wants some lipstick. Shall we see? Oh, it's quite hard to paint. I don't know. It looks like a blob. Not sure about that. You sometimes see on Matisse ones, they're just black, those features. I think I might just leave it. Don't try not to draw too much attention to her face. It's just, yeah. Wow, okay. I think this one is for the most part done. I don't know if it needs any kind of highlights on the leaves. Pretty flat, very flat, but that's the sort of the look of this matte paint. I might just do a little mixy mix and see if I can get a lighter. Oh, there's a little bit of the red on there. Put a bit of that, bit of that, bit of a different green. See if we just put a lick of that on some of these. Don't know what that's going to look like. How's that? Oh, yeah. Do they all need it? Oh, I don't know. This is the thing. You get carried away and start giving everybody some because they all want some now. Yeah. Try a bit different. Okay. It's just foliage, isn't it? Which, as you can see over here, I quite like. Can you see? Over there. Oh, sorry. Over there. Just foliage. And they are silk magnolias. And a pair of pears. So funny. I was at the fruit place on the weekend selecting the pears, not for quality to eat, but their shapes, because I knew I wanted them on my art table for a while. It's just really nice having a pair of pears, don't you think? Aren't they gorgeous? And, hello, they did make their way onto this table. So I just love that. Okay, so that did lighten that up a little bit, changing that green. I think that was probably an inspired idea. Oh, that's what I was in the middle of telling you. The lovely thing that had happened. Okay, so yeah, I had that kind of stressy feeling, and then I knew, all right, I've got a short time frame left to make new work in case my other stuff all sells in Brisbane. I've got to be ready with new ones for Sydney Affordable Art Fair. And so, I don't know whether I should put my face in here talking. Okay, I'll try and focus and hold some sentences together. So what I was saying was, I was feeling quite sort of stressy on Friday and sort of worrying, oh, is painting selling, etc. And I had to just sort of try and get off that, move on to, all right, what's the next step forward? And I thought, okay, I really got to just paint all weekend. Philip was wonderful and asked how could he help, and so he looked after making me lunch and dinner, which was so beautiful. And so I worked all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and I did for the better part of 4 paintings in those 2 days. And so what I might do is share those with you over 2 videos, like I said earlier, to just make things a bit easier for me. So 2 of them were 50 by 50 centimeters, and then 2 were 30 by 30, and they're the ones I've been sharing with you here. And what happened was, which I did a snippet of earlier in this video, was that I was just listening to ideas that dropped in, and I just had to trust that. So to make that happen, I sort of went through all of that sort of disappointment, worry, concern, and then had to feel all that, then let it go, and then start the new day with that anticipation of, I don't know what I'm going to paint, let's see what happens. And then all I knew was the size of these 2 boards, and I had done a pink background. So I knew, all right, that's my starting off point. Because with the other 2 50 by 50s were very blue, so very different color palette. So I wanted very different, the color palettes. So that was what I was doing, giving myself parameters. Okay, that's the size, that's the color base. Then what? I love pink with green. Okay, I'm going to have a green. Oh, let's use gouache. And just these ideas were dropping in as I just surrendered to showing up. And it doesn't always work this wonderfully, but it was a really lovely experience for me to have it happen this way, to learn new ways of being with making art more prolifically. And so I just got the idea, go into the little fireplace room where I've got one of my paintings up above the fireplace that I love and I'm keeping because it reminds me of my home on the Sunshine Coast. It was the table that used to be that I had to sell when I moved. It's in that painting. The chairs are the same shape and that sort of thing. And I'd painted the chairs different colors, I think, which I was never allowed to have a bunch of odd chairs. I don't know why. My husband's not keen on having an assortment of odd chairs, but I'm very keen. So I really should just put them more in my paintings to allow me to have that expression, because that's what I'd love. And so I just got this idea, go in there and be inspired by that. So I just walked in there and looked and thought, okay, all right. And I just took a bunch of things, took 2 little table easels and set myself up there. And it was just wonderful. I just sort of started, and then boom, a design kind of happened based loosely on the painting I'd done before, or maybe a combination of 2 or 3 of them, and heavily Matisse. But as I'm trying to get Matisse and Denise more coming in, so that, you know, it's a blend, it's a mixture. So it was a really lovely feeling. And then coming back in the studio, and I would get an inkling of, do it this color, do it that color, use gouache. And then I think the rest of it I've added in little snippets when I've showed you the progress along the way. But it was very lovely. When you've painted for a long time, you'll be surprised how much information you have gathered. You've learned so much over the years by doing. And so you think you haven't got enough sometimes to do the thing, and you think, oh, you know, do I need another course? Do I need to go to art school, etc.? But sometimes no, just letting ourselves drop down into less panic. Let's be here, come right into now. And what are you hearing? Whisper. Well, that could be a good idea. I could try that. And it could be the brush, the color, the size of the board. Just that one piece, you do it, and then you sort of like internally ask, okay, what's next? And that's how I've worked with these paintings, and actually had the best time. So yeah, that's I think all for this moment to share with you. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. I think I'm going to make this a short one, and I'll see you next time. Then I will come home. Would have come home from Brisbane. Hopefully, what I'd love to do is make a little bit of video while I'm away in Brisbane with my daughter Alex. So I won't make big promises, but I would love to bring you back a bit of footage of what she makes. She makes some cool stuff. And I'm looking forward to integrating some of what she makes into some future paintings. So that will be really fun. All right. So yeah, thanks again for being here. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And if you love my videos and you think you've got a friend who would too, please share. It's really lovely to see the audience growing, people gathering, and thank you so much for your warm comments and compliments and kindness. Much love to you. Bye.